And so to the first speaker to propose the motion that feminism enslaves rather than liberates, I call on Mrs. Alice Glynn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the biography which you have just heard, I think it could be reasonably assumed that I am a liberated woman. Thankfully, I have had an enduring and successful marriage, and having raised my family, I now enjoy a challenging and rewarding political career. But I am no feminist. Feminism, as we who support this motion understand it, is an ideology, a set of doctrinaire opinion about women. Like all ideologies, feminism is often abstract and always riddled with inconsistencies when applied to the real world. The original concept, as we know, is as old as Plato's Republic. But the modern movement started in the United States in the 60s. Feminists there have been unsuccessful over a 20-year campaign to pass an equal rights amendment to the US Constitution. Their goal has been to mandate a gender-free society. In Ireland, feminist political expression has taken the form of attack on Article 41 of our Constitution, which protects the family and marriage. Feminists claim that our legal preference for family based on marriage denies them the right to control their own bodies and indeed their lives. This inherently negative outlook on life is the self-articulated fundamental dogma of their movement. For example, the American guru, Betty Friedan, who is considered to be the mother of the movement, identified the family as an oppressive institution in which women's needs were systematically denied. That was in her book in '63, The Feminist Mystique, which helped launch the feminist campaign there. Another influential book was that of Germaine Greer, The Female Eunuch, published in 1970. She condemned motherhood as a handicap and pregnancy, don't mind, as an illness. Miss Greer said that if women are to effect a significant amelioration in their condition, it seems obvious that they must refuse to marry. Instead, they should become deliberately promiscuous but not conceive babies. Virtually all of the early feminist literature upon this ideology was built on an attack upon the traditional family and children within marriage. Susan Brownmiller, whose book called Against Our Will, alerted a whole generation of feminists to rape and sexual politics. That is why we hear so often today the need for legislation to cope with rape within marriage. This has become their Bible. She equated marriage with subjugation, incarceration, slavery, and husbands were called predators. I've been married for 38 years. I've called my husbands a lot of things, but a predator, never. An Irish feminist view of marriage was provided by my panel colleague, Deputy Monica Barnes, who said in the Dáil that in her opinion, marriage was bad for women's health. Feminists seem to believe that someone, perhaps God, perhaps the state, perhaps a conspiracy of male chauvinist pigs, dealt women a foul blow when they made them feminine. Therefore, they must agitate, demonstrate, and make demands upon this male-dominated society. By its very nature, therefore, feminism precipitates a series of conflict situations in legislation, the courts, the schools, and industry. With men targeted as the enemy, confrontation replaces cooperation, and women and men become adversaries instead of partners, as was intended by the Creator. The main dogma of the movement is that of all the injustices perpetrated on women since time began, the most oppressive was the fact that women had babies and men did not. And therefore, to abolish this inequity, this became the primary goal. That is why they've been in the vanguard of the abortion, to make abortion socially acceptable. Regrettably, they have been so successful at this level that 50 million human beings die every year throughout the world. If any other species were so endangered, we would have the environmentalists in full cry, asking that it be stopped. What thinking woman would travel that road? It is self-evident that the female body, with its childbearing organs, was designed not by a conspiracy of men, but by the divine architect and creator. Those who think that it's unfair that women have babies and men do not will have to take up their complaint with their creator, because no other power is capable of changing that fundamental fact. Must I stop, Chairman?
Well, I think creation is a good place to stop.